Well, DC coming off the bye, it's a different feeling coming off the bye after a win though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good, mate. It would have been a long 2 weeks had we not got that Crusaders victory. So no, it sent the boys to their break in a better frame of mind, and now we're back into it this week and focused on the next task at hand, which is a hard one.
Have you noticed the boys' morale lifting and they're ready to go for the task at hand?
Not really, mate. Like, as in, the group's been amazingly resilient the whole time. Like, we had a rough run there, and always Mondays are a little slow, but by the end of each week, they've been ready to bouncing around again, ready to compete. So, no, I think their energy, enthusiasm, the amount of laughter around the joint, it's been the same as it has been. The group's been really tidy in that aspect.
Turning your attention to the team announcement this week, another unfortunate blow with Theo injuring his foot, and a great opportunity for Jay to come back into the team off the back of that.
Yeah, mate, our front row, I'm not sure what they've done. Like, we've now got 8 of our 10 contracted front rowers unavailable. I've never had a cluster of injuries in a positional group like this before. So Jay came back in today. Yeah, that was only a late issue with Theo. So Jay came in today, and so that's all 3 hookers now done for the season, and 5 of our 7 props. It's incredible.
Are they all kind of freak recurrent stuff, or is there any?
Yeah, it's not like they're all. Yeah, obviously we investigate that as to why they're happening. Theo is a foot, Mahe was a knee, Dave's been an ongoing Achilles issue, toe with Belly, shoulder with Holtz, knee with Lambert, Achilles tendon with Botha. Yeah, pretty varied. No, we don't feel there's any pattern or any reason it's struck. But it's definitely dipping at our stocks, and we've had to call in some more shoot shield guys, which has its positive. It's a genuine pathway into us from shoot shield. There's no doubting that, particularly if you're front rower at the moment.
Are you in the market at all?
Yeah, we will, but there's a lot of moving pieces on that. Yeah, we've got 6 weeks to go. We would ideally, I'd love to have another experienced prop in and around the group, but the hooker Delamarani really raised its head last night with Theo's late injury. But no, there's obviously budget constraints and a few things in around that as well.
Ned at number 8, can you just talk about just that sort of back row battle, and particularly sort of, especially after the game against the Crusaders, where you got really good impact out of that sort of combo of Swin, Gamble and Gleeson?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Like, Langy and Jed, we'd like to see a little more out of them in their general play. Langy around involvement numbers. We'd love to spark him up and get a bit more ball in his hand. And Jed just had a flat couple of weeks. His line-out work's been really good, but we'd like to see a bit more bang. So hopefully this move to the bench for them too will really spark them up. And we know they're quality class players that both have good foot speed and impact. So the plan is to be right in this game at the time they enter it, and they'll give us some fresh legs. Ned's been outstanding for us in each position we've put him in. So his ability to cover 6, 8, 4 has been great for us. So he just fills in there, and a little bit about balance. Like, we've got to make sure our tight head lock is a good scrummager. So it's Miles comes in on that to replace Jed. And then Sinks adds a bit of leadership that Jed moving to the bench balances that out. So there's a few things. It's not purely form. It's not purely rotation. There's a little bit of balance. There's quite a bit gone into that decision making.
Is there any consideration to Will Harrison starting?
Definitely. Yeah. No, we looked at it, discussed it, and decided to stay where we are. Yeah, no, Tane's been solid. Tane hasn't been poor by any stretch, and Will's added a real spark. Will's coming down from a big high from last week as well. So, we're also conscious of his knee load. So there's a few parts into that.
Just on that sort of back 3 battle, what do you have to see out of Mark on the YC to bring him sort of back into the fold, whether that's in shoot shield or whether that's sort of that training?
Yeah, so Mark's back in this week, and Dylan has a week out, and again, not through form or anything like that. It's purely around a bit of rotation. We've got 3 really good wingers there at the moment that are all competing and vying hard for that spot. So we want to keep players engaged. We want to keep them in form. We want to keep them match fit. So now Marky gets his shot, and I'd like to think, well, I know for a fact, him missing out against the Crusaders hurt him. He wants to. He cares about the team, and he really wants to finish his rugby stint on a high. So now he gets his opportunity to make himself undroppable.
Can you talk to the decision originally from last week about leaving him out? Like, was there any form element? Was it a rotation thing?
A little bit of all the above, yeah. Marky'd been solid. I wouldn't say he'd been lighting it up. And as I said, like Tristan and Peach were in great form. So there's a bit of keeping all of them engaged. And Jorgo comes into that back 3 engagement as well. So he's playing at the moment. But yeah, we need them to. One of them to really step up, 3 of them to really step up and say they're undroppable in these tight games. We don't feel we're weakening our team in any way, nor did we did last time. It just gives us some different characteristics. And they kick a lot of high balls off Mackenzie. Marky's very good in the air, so he may be able to diffuse a few of those. But yeah, I think Marky admitted he wasn't at his brilliant, bustling best, and maybe this stretch of doing a week out, it might be a way to get back to it.
With Tristan, I know it was kind of a rush thing, I suppose, at the end of last year, coming back from the league. It was only on a 1-year deal. Are you guys trying to lock him down a bit this joint for a bit longer? Yeah,
we're working through our roster now. So yeah, Tristan's had a great season. There's no doubt he's a better player and a more rounded person and a more mature athlete after from where he was in my first year here. So yeah, no, we're working through that now, trying to fit the last bits of the jigsaw. But retaining Tristan at the moment, I couldn't see any reason why we wouldn't try hard to.
Your coaches are paid to worry, right? So the Chiefs are coming up on Friday. What's been your point of concern coming off a win? Everyone feeling great. What's been your worry this week?
It wouldn't be complacent. I don't think it'll be complacency. Like, we're not in a position in the ladder to be complacent, and we're not in a rich vein of form for successive weeks for that. Probably it's just around, we've shown really good energy and intent, and we've done that all season for the most part of the season. So now just to continually execute better. We need to have energy, intent and high quality execution to match this team. Chiefs they'll be hungry. They lost last start. They're not sitting where people thought they would be sitting on the ladder. The talent's there. If you look at some of the glimpses of their footy this year, they're probably still the most potent team when they get it right. So definitely no complacency, but we'll need to be at our best in those 3 aspects to compete.
A few people kind of seeing the win over the Crusaders, and there's that great clip of Swinton and then Hannigan taking carries and then Julian scoring. It's kind of, where's that been all season? Are you showing that sort of footage and going, this is our new standard? Yeah,
100%. Yeah, there's no doubt. The carry and clean work in those 2 rucks particularly. Obviously Lockie's carry, but Ned's carry into those 3 guys bashing the clean out. If we could get that at every ruck, I'd be doing a lot better health-wise. Yeah, no, it is. It sits under our intent, that energy, intent, and execution, and that clip particularly showed amazing intent.
Yeah, it's valuable those 2 being those kind of senior blokes, I guess you call them now, definitely.
Agree, yes. Swinton and Ned have had great seasons, particularly obviously Ned, first one back after a while off. Was that his second one back? I can't remember, but he did have a couple of weeks off. I think Crusaders was his first game. Crusaders was his first game back. But every time he's played, he's been one of our top 3 players. He won our Guardian Award, which is our little man of the match type thing. He won that last week in the Crusader game, Ned did, and Lockie was right behind him. They're dueling banjos, and you'd probably say their best position is 6 for both of them, but they're going so well, we have to fit both of them in there.
Swimmer's going to France next year. I think Ned is off as well, looking in that direction as well. Is Ned the type of bloke that Australian rugby has to do more to keep?
I don't know if they have to do more, they're trying hard. Yeah. I know it's an ongoing discussion at the moment. yeah, but that's between Ned and RA. We'd love to keep Ned, and we've done everything we can at our end of the salary range to keep him. And now it's just between Neddy's management and RA to put their part into it.
The interesting part of this comp where, next fortnight, a lot of Australian sort of Kiwi rivalry matchups, or, cross Tasman rivalries. I think you've got Hurricanes and Chiefs the next 2 weeks. Can you just speak to the importance of, just from your perspective, of getting those wins over big sides to really build confidence and show that the Australian teams can actually match it with the Kiwi counterparts?
Yeah, it's massive. Like the last 6 weeks, I've gone through and looked at the matrix of everyone who's playing everyone and what we need to do to get into the playoffs. And you're right, the next 3 weeks particularly, we've got a really hard run with Chiefs, Canes, Brums. Surprisingly, for the season we've had, I'd nearly almost say our Kiwi form, our Kiwi results, it's the best it's been. Definitely the best it's been in my tenure. We've beaten the Crusaders twice and had 2-point losses to the other two. So at this stage, I don't want to speak too early, but we understand the importance. And if you're Joe Schmidt, yeah, you want the Aussie teams winning or being right in the fight. So our goal is to do that again these next 2 weeks. We know these are probably two of the three best Kiwi teams, and we're not only getting our own season back on track, but for Australian rugby, we've got to do well.
Just on that, I think we've got, from an Australian perspective, 4 teams going in with winning sort of streaks against New Zealand sides coming off their last game, including yourself. In terms of sort of the competition between sort of that gap that's always talked about between the Australian and Kiwi sides, is this the closest you've seen in your time?
So our one win against the Crusaders, is that a winning streak? It's I wouldn't call it a winning streak just yet. I think I can't really comment. I don't know that. I'm sure in days gone past there's been where we've had the wood on them. It'd be a while ago. In my 3-year stint, as I said, I think I can only really comment on our team. We're right there, and we're excited to challenge ourselves against them. And in the 4 games to this point, we've done all right.
Do you see Belly's come back to HQ this week? Can you give an update on him and just what having him around the headquarters does to the team? Yeah,
we got a little parking rack for him and this little mobility scooters. Him and Dan both are getting around on at the moment. Yeah, Belly's again focused. It's a good little opportunity for you got to make the best of bad situations. It's a good opportunity for him to recalibrate. He's going to do some work in and around some leadership stuff, and he's not just physically rehabbing. We want to make him a better person and a better leader. So yeah, we're working on him holistically, and he'll come in and work hard. He always does. He's a good rehabber, so he'll get on it. And I think he's got his mind set on sort of that 4 to 5 month mark is what he's talking about. So he'll be ripping into that.
And finally, it's Anzac round. What does that special notion mean to the team? And obviously, we'll have the Defence Force incorporated in match day at Allianz.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like when you hear the last post played, whether you're a history buff and a full-blown Aussie or not, that song and that what it stands for is pretty chilling. So, no, the boys are very respectful, appreciative of what's gone before us and what the Anzac spirit is, and it's a great way that we've got on Anzac weekend all these Aussie Kiwi matches lined up. And our goal is to get out and do them proud.